I've been friends with Matthew for maybe 8 years now. You know, he's been into plants for longer. I had seen his plants for years. I wasn't that into it until relatively recently, maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah, that's the one that I initially thought that it was.
So the podcast started last summer, so that's, 9 months ago or so. We started having long, excited conversations about plants, and we're like, oh, hey, why don't we record this? We hear this podcast thing's actually a lot easier than it might seem. So that's how we got started.
Okay, so people who sell this plant not knowing.
There are so many great shows out there that are about the botany, the science, the culture of growing plants. But something that I thought was missing was the idea of plants, but through more of the social side. But look at this poor thing. Like, to be happy tells me that this is not going to ever be a popular plant. It's just going to be one that people want to look at on Instagram.
Yeah, and then,
While we are first and foremost plant-interested hobbyists, like, we're also human beings with identities. We just wanted to kind of capture and celebrate that a bit.
And then this too.
Yep, no, it does.
It's already not extremely, yeah.
This spine grew down, and it was like snaking through this, and then it grew up into these plants, and I found it over there.
It's really, I think, broadened, the people I interact with in a good way. There are kids that come to some of our meetings too. Elderly people who are super into plants, who have amazing things that have not been sold in a long time, that maybe they kind of pulled out of their yard. Look at that. I've seen this one. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Plants are such a visual appeal. Like, they're beautiful, they're strange, they're unique, they're colorful. And Pinterest and Instagram, I think, are two of the biggest responsible parties for engaging houseplant hobbyists. The more people that you connect with, the more interesting little bits you're learning and picking up. I learned about so many plants just through that exact mode of enthusiasts within the hobby sharing what they're doing.
There are a lot of plant stores around, and they're really staffed by, very often, really interested people. That you promised me, right? So you're
basically,
off
yeah.
But-
Here's my neem oil, by the way.
Which is the one that I should be using on Thrips?
No, this is the one that I
Oh, on
use.
thrips? This is the thrips.
Okay, and this has the active chemicals that'll remove them out of existence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spinosad. Perfect.
Yeah. There's just something about the areas of knowledge that Miles and I both share that I think that we really quickly just developed this good, like, plant friendship. It's really great having such a fantastic resource, both for my own interest in the hobby, also for my access to plants, and he's a great resource to bring onto the podcast.
He's really interested in helping people. He's really interested in horticulture as a science.
Oh,
Turns off lights.
And starts playing the ambient storm noises.
Yeah.
Your list doesn't show.
Okay, sorry, I had to reconnect to the internet there.
I think, fewer of us have yards maybe compared to previous generations, and since that's true, we are doing this indoors now. We're living in more dense cities and in, smaller places, and I think it's this urge when you kind of get to this certain age, you're like, oh, this is interesting to sort of grow this thing and like nurture this thing.
Did you want a receipt? Alright, cool. Did you want a bag or something?
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Miles.
Yeah.
I think that just the power that nature has to bring calm to the human being is something that we're recently kind of rediscovering. And the houseplant trends to me really just speak to the fact that people are pursuing that more.
So I think, it is something that's accessible to almost everybody if you have, any little bit of room. I wish that people would experience that satisfaction or that surprise when you get success that you didn't expect.
Okay.
Pretending.
I'm already.
And we're live.
This is Plant Daddy Podcast, serving you intersectional horticulture. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Stephen.
Okay, so today we are talking about one of the best low-light plants out there, which may surprise a lot of people to learn is an aroid.
We want to make our content accessible to anybody who's interested in plants and hopefully either give them some information that they didn't have before or just inspiring some interest that they didn't know that they were going to have. I think that exposure is the biggest thing. You don't have to be knowledgeable about plants to be successful or to appreciate them.